I'm Betty, 31F, and I've been married to Andrew, 33M, for 5 years. We have a 3-year-old daughter, Emily. Andrew and I met in college. I was pre-med, and he was studying fire science. We bonded over our shared passion for helping others and our love for adrenaline-fueled careers. After graduation, I went to medical school, and Andrew joined the fire department. For the first few years of our marriage, we both pursued our careers with gusto. I completed my residency in pediatric surgery, and Andrew quickly rose through the ranks at the fire department. We were the perfect power couple, or so everyone thought. But behind closed doors, we were struggling. Our schedules were brutal and often conflicting. We barely saw each other. And when we did, we were usually exhausted. When Emily came along, things got even more complicated. We relied heavily on daycare and my parents to help with childcare, but it never felt like enough. The turning point came when Emily was about 18 months old. I got called into an emergency surgery on the same night Andrew was working a 24-hour shift. Our usual babysitter was sick, and my parents were out of town. We ended up having to ask our neighbor, whom we barely knew, to watch Emily. That night, as I was elbow deep in a child's chest cavity, trying to repair a congenital heart defect, all I could think about was my own daughter with a stranger. When I got home the next morning, Andrew and I had a long, tear-filled conversation. We both realized something had to change. After weeks of discussion and soul-searching, Andrew made the decision to leave the fire department and become a stay-at-home dad. It wasn't an easy choice for him. He loved his job and the camaraderie of the firehouse. But he also saw how much Emily was thriving with more consistent parental attention, and he wanted to be the one to provide that. I fully supported Andrew's decision. It made sense for our family, both financially and emotionally. My job as a pediatric surgeon paid well enough to support us comfortably, and the regular hours, outside of emergencies, meant I could be home most evenings and weekends. However, not everyone was as understanding of our choice. Andrew's family, in particular, had a hard time accepting it. They come from a traditional background where men are expected to be the primary breadwinners. Andrew's brother Tom, 29M, was especially vocal about his disapproval. Tom and Andrew had always had a complicated relationship. Growing up, Tom was the rebellious one, always getting into trouble, while Andrew was the responsible older brother who bailed him out. Despite their differences, they were close, and Andrew always looked out for Tom. When Andrew announced his decision to become a stay-at-home dad, Tom's reaction was harsh. He accused Andrew of being lazy and taking the easy way out. He constantly made snide remarks and jokes about Andrew being less of a man for staying at home. At family gatherings, Tom would loudly proclaim that he could never let his girlfriend support him, always with a pointed look at Andrew and me. Speaking of Tom's girlfriend, Brittany, 27F, she and I have never really gotten along. We're just too different. She's a social media influencer who's all about appearances and status, while I'm more focused on my career and family. Since Andrew's career change, Brittany has been particularly cold towards me. She often makes backhanded compliments and passive-aggressive comments, implying that I've somehow forced Andrew into this situation. I've tried to ignore their behavior for Andrew's sake. He's always been close to his family, and I didn't want to be the reason for any rifts. But it's been getting harder and harder to bite my tongue. Last weekend, we attended Tom and Brittany's engagement party. It was a lavish affair, clearly designed to show off for Brittany's social media followers. Everything was going fine, or as fine as it could be given the underlying tensions, until Tom started making jokes about Andrew's unemployment in front of everyone. He said things like, "At least one of us still knows how to provide for his family. And I guess we know who wears the pants in Andrew's house now." He even went so far as to say, "Don't worry, bro. I'm sure the fire department would take you back. They always need men to do the real work." I could see Andrew was uncomfortable, but he tried to laugh it off. Andrew's always been the peacekeeper in his family, often at the expense of his own feelings. However, Tom didn't stop. He kept pushing and pushing, making more degrading comments. As I watched my husband shrink under his brother's verbal assault, something in me snapped. All the pent-up frustration from months of snide comments and disapproving looks came boiling to the surface. Before I could stop myself, I stood up and said, "You know what, Tom? At least Andrew has the courage to put his family first. Unlike you, who needed Andrew to bail you out of jail and pay for your rehab when you got addicted to painkillers 3 years ago. If it weren't for Andrew, you probably wouldn't even be here today to celebrate your engagement." The room went dead silent. Tom's face turned pale, and Brittany looked shocked. Apparently, Tom had kept his addiction and legal troubles a secret from her and most of the family. Only Andrew, their parents, and I knew about it. You see, 3 years ago, Tom had a bad accident at his construction job. He fell from a scaffold and severely injured his back. The doctors prescribed him strong painkillers, and Tom quickly became dependent on them. His addiction spiraled out of control, affecting his work and relationships. He started buying pills illegally when his prescriptions ran out. One night, he got caught trying to break into a pharmacy to steal more pills. He was arrested and faced serious charges. Tom called Andrew in the middle of the night, begging for help. Without hesitation, Andrew bailed him out and hired a good lawyer to help reduce the charges. But that wasn't the end of it. Andrew then paid for Tom to go to an expensive rehab facility. He covered Tom's rent and bills while he was in treatment and unemployed. Andrew even helped Tom find a new job when he got out of rehab. Throughout all of this, Andrew never asked for anything in return. He did it because that's who Andrew is, someone who always puts others first. Tom had begged Andrew to keep all of this a secret, especially from Brittany. He was ashamed and worried about how it would affect his image. Andrew agreed, not because he thought it was right, but because he wanted to protect his brother. After my outburst, all hell broke loose. Tom stormed out, Brittany ran after him crying, and Andrew's parents were furious with me for revealing Tom's secret. Andrew didn't say much at the party, but he was quiet on the drive home. Now, Andrew's family is demanding that I apologize to Tom and Brittany. They say I ruined the engagement party, and possibly Tom's relationship with Brittany. Andrew says he understands why I did it, but thinks I went too far. He's torn between supporting me and keeping peace with his family. I feel terrible for causing drama at the engagement party, but I don't think I should apologize for standing up for my husband. Tom has been belittling Andrew for months, and someone needed to put him in his place. Andrew has done so much for Tom, and this is how he repays him? By mocking him in front of everyone? However, I'm starting to wonder if I crossed a line by revealing Tom's secret. Maybe I should have found a better way to stand up for Andrew without airing Tom's dirty laundry. But in the heat of the moment, all I could think about was defending my husband. This whole situation has put a strain on our relationship with Andrew's family. His parents have always been traditional, but they've generally been supportive of us. Now, they're not speaking to me and are pressuring Andrew to make me apologize. Andrew is caught in the middle, trying to mediate between me and his family. I can see how much this is hurting him, and I hate that I'm partly responsible for that. But at the same time, I can't help but feel that this confrontation was long overdue. Maybe now Andrew's family will see how their behavior has been affecting us. As for Tom and Brittany, we haven't heard from them since the party. I have no idea if they're still together or if Brittany has forgiven Tom for keeping such a big secret from her. Part of me feels guilty for potentially ruining their relationship, but another part of me thinks Brittany deserved to know the truth about Tom before marrying him. So, Reddit? AETA for revealing my brother-in-law's secret at his engagement party? Should I apologize to keep the peace or stand my ground? How do I support Andrew through this family drama without compromising my own principles? Edit. Wow, this blew up overnight. Thank you all for your responses. I'm reading through them and will post an update soon. Update 1. It's been a week since the engagement party fiasco, and to say it's been stressful would be an understatement. I want to thank everyone for their input and advice. It's given me a lot to think about. The day after the party, Tom called Andrew. I only heard Andrew's side of the conversation, but it was clear that Tom was furious. He demanded that I apologize to him and Brittany, threatening to cut off all contact with us if I didn't. Andrew tried to mediate, suggesting we all sit down and talk it out, but Tom refused unless I apologized first. Andrew was visibly shaken after the call. He told me that he'd never heard Tom so angry before. I felt guilty seeing how much this was affecting Andrew, but I also felt frustrated that Tom was making ultimatums instead of acknowledging his own behavior. After discussing it with Andrew, I decided to reach out to Brittany directly. I felt she deserved to hear the full story from someone who wasn't trying to cover it up. We met for coffee at a quiet cafe near her workplace. When Brittany arrived, she looked tired and stressed. I started by apologizing for the way she found out about Tom's past, as it wasn't fair to her. Then I explained everything: how Tom got injured, his descent into addiction, his arrest, and how Andrew helped him. I also told her about how Tom had been treating Andrew since he became a stay-at-home dad, to give her context for my outburst at the party. Brittany was quiet for a long time after I finished talking. Then she told me that Tom had given her a watered-down version of events, claiming he had a minor substance abuse issue that he overcame on his own. Finding out about the arrest and the extent of his addiction was a shock to her. She also shared some things about her relationship with Tom that surprised me. Apparently, Tom had been pressuring her to have a big, elaborate wedding and to start trying for a baby right away. Brittany said she had been feeling overwhelmed and unsure, but felt like she couldn't talk to anyone about it because Tom always insisted on presenting a perfect image to the world. By the end of our conversation, Brittany thanked me for being honest with her. She said she had a lot to think about regarding her relationship with Tom. I left feeling relieved that I had cleared the air with Brittany, but also worried about what this meant for her and Tom. A couple of days later, Andrew's parents showed up at our house unannounced. They were still angry and insisted that I apologize to Tom. They said I had no right to air the family's dirty laundry and that I was tearing the family apart. I tried to explain my side of things, but they weren't interested in listening. They kept talking over me, saying that family loyalty should come before everything else. That's when Andrew stepped in. He told them that if anyone should apologize, it's Tom for his constant belittling of Andrew's choice to be a stay-at-home dad. The conversation quickly escalated. Andrew's dad said some hurtful things about Andrew throwing away his career and living off his wife. He even suggested that Andrew was setting a bad example for Emily by not working. That's when Andrew lost his cool. In all the years I've known him, I've never seen him so angry. He told his parents that if they couldn't respect our choices and our family, then maybe we needed some space from them. He pointed out how happy and well-adjusted Emily is, and how our arrangement allows both of us to be involved parents while I pursue my career. Andrew's mom tried to calm things down, but his dad stormed out. His mom followed, giving us a disappointed look as she left. The whole incident left Andrew shaken. That night, after we put Emily to bed, we had a long talk about boundaries and family dynamics. Andrew admitted that he had been letting his family's comments slide for too long, hoping they'd come around eventually. He realized that by not standing up to them, he had inadvertently been allowing their behavior to continue. He apologized for not defending our choices more strongly before. We also talked about how this situation was affecting our relationship. The stress of the past week had taken its toll, and we both acknowledged feeling disconnected from each other. We agreed to make more time for just us, even if it's just a quiet hour after Emily goes to bed. As for Tom and Brittany, we heard through Andrew's cousin that they're still together but postponed their wedding. Apparently, Brittany wants Tom to go to couples therapy and prove he's been clean for the past 3 years before she agrees to marry him. I can't help but feel responsible for the turmoil in their relationship, even though I know Tom's secrets would have come out eventually. Andrew and I have decided to take a step back from his family for now. We're focusing on our own little family and the life we've chosen. Andrew has been amazing with Emily, and seeing their bond grow stronger every day reassures me that we made the right choice. I still feel conflicted about how everything went down at the engagement party. While I don't regret standing up for Andrew, I wish I had found a better way to do it. This whole situation has made us realize that we need to be a united front when it comes to dealing with family issues. We're taking it one day at a time and hoping that eventually, Andrew's family will come around and respect our choices. If not, we're prepared to maintain our distance for the sake of our own well-being. It's not an easy decision, especially for Andrew, who has always been close to his family, but we both agree it's necessary for now. As we navigate this complicated situation, I'm grateful for Andrew's support and for the life we've built together. Whatever challenges we face, I know we'll face them as a team. Update 2. It's been about a month since my last update, and things have taken an unexpected turn. I received a call from Brittany last week, asking if we could meet again. I was hesitant, worried that she might blame me for the issues in her relationship with Tom, but curiosity got the better of me, so I agreed. We met at the same cafe as before. Brittany looked different, more confident somehow, but also tired. She got straight to the point. She had broken off the engagement with Tom. After our last conversation, Brittany had done some digging and discovered that Tom hadn't been entirely truthful about his sobriety. She found out he had relapsed a few times over the past year, but had managed to hide it from everyone. She caught him with pills in his gym bag, and when confronted, he admitted to using them occasionally to take the edge off at work. Brittany was devastated, but grateful that I had told her the truth about Tom's past. She said it gave her the push she needed to confront Tom and uncover the whole truth. She thanked me for potentially saving her from a marriage built on lies. As Brittany talked, I couldn't help but think about Andrew and Tom's childhood. Andrew had always talked about how their dad was a work hard, play hard type who believed that real men should be able to handle their liquor. I wondered if that environment had contributed to Tom's struggles with addiction. Brittany also shared that she had been doing a lot of thinking about her own life and goals. She admitted that she had gotten caught up in the idea of being an influencer couple with Tom, but now she was reconsidering her career path. She was even thinking about going back to school to study social work, inspired by her experiences with Tom. This news spread quickly through the family grapevine. Tom was furious and blamed me for ruining his life. He left a series of angry voicemails on Andrew's phone, accusing us of conspiring against him. Some of the things he said were truly hurtful, dredging up old childhood grievances and twisting them into weapons. Andrew tried to reach out to him, but Tom refused to talk. Andrew was really shaken by Tom's messages. He confided in me that he felt guilty, wondering if he had enabled Tom's behavior over the years by always bailing him out of trouble. We had some long, emotional conversations about family dynamics and the fine line between helping and enabling. Surprisingly, Andrew's parents were oddly quiet about the whole thing. We hadn't heard from them since our argument. But after Brittany broke off the engagement, Andrew's mom called. She sounded tired and defeated. She said they had no idea about Tom's relapses and asked if we could all meet to talk things through. We agreed to meet them for dinner at a neutral location, a quiet restaurant halfway between our houses. The atmosphere was tense at first. Andrew's dad looked like he had aged years in just a few weeks. As we talked, it became clear that they were starting to see the bigger picture. They apologized for their behavior and admitted that they had been too harsh on Andrew for his decision to be a stay-at-home dad. Andrew's dad even shared something that surprised us all. He said he had always wanted to be more involved in raising his kids, but felt pressured by societal expectations to focus on his career. He told Andrew he was proud of him for having the courage to prioritize his family. As we talked, more family history came to light. Andrew's mom revealed that her own father had struggled with alcohol addiction, something she'd never told the boys. She admitted that she might have been in denial about Tom's issues because it brought up painful memories from her childhood. The conversation was difficult but cathartic. We all shed some tears and shared some laughs as we reminisced about happier times and acknowledged the challenges we'd faced as a family. By the end of the evening, it felt like we'd taken a small step towards healing. As for Tom, he's currently in rehab again. Andrew's parents asked for our support in helping Tom get back on track, and we agreed to be there for him, but with clear boundaries this time. Andrew and I discussed it extensively and decided that while we want to support Tom's recovery, we can't put ourselves in a position where we're sacrificing our own well-being or enabling his behavior. This whole experience has been a roller coaster, but it feels like we're finally moving in a positive direction with Andrew's parents. They've started making an effort to understand and respect our choices, and they're amazed at how well Andrew handles being a stay-at-home dad. Andrew's mom even asked him for tips on engaging with Emily, admitting that she regrets not being more involved when her boys were young. We're cautiously optimistic about the future of our relationship with Andrew's family. It's going to take time to rebuild trust and establish healthier dynamics, but we're willing to put in the effort as long as they are too. As for Andrew and me, we're doing our best to process everything that's happened. We've started seeing a couples therapist to help us navigate these family issues and strengthen our communication. It's been helpful to have a neutral third party to talk things through with. Emily, thankfully, has been largely shielded from the family drama. She continues to thrive under Andrew's care, and her bond with both of us grows stronger every day. Seeing her happy and well-adjusted reinforces that we made the right decision for our family, regardless of what anyone else thinks. We're taking things one day at a time, focusing on our little family while slowly rebuilding relationships with Andrew's parents. It's not always easy, but we're committed to creating a healthier family dynamic for Emily's sake as well as our own. Update 3. It's been 6 months since everything went down, and I wanted to give you all a final update on how things have settled. Tom completed his rehab program and has been sober for 4 months now. It hasn't been an easy journey for him. There were times when he wanted to give up. But with the support of his therapist and our family, he's managed to stay on track. He reached out to Andrew and me separately to apologize for his behavior. He admitted that his addiction and insecurities led him to lash out at Andrew for his life choices. We've had a few family dinners together, and while things are still a bit awkward, we're slowly rebuilding our relationship. Tom is working on addressing the root causes of his addiction, including some unresolved issues from our childhood. He's opened up about feeling like he was always in Andrew's shadow growing up, which led to a lot of resentment. It's been tough for Andrew to hear, but I think it's helping them understand each other better. Brittany and Tom have cautiously started talking again. They're not back together, but they're working on building a friendship. Brittany has been incredibly supportive of Tom's recovery journey, which has surprised us all. She's followed through on her plan to study social work and often shares resources she's learning about with Tom. Andrew's parents have done a complete 180. They've become our biggest cheerleaders. Andrew's dad even started a support group for stay-at-home dads in their community, inspired by Andrew's journey. It's been heartwarming to see them not only accept our choices, but actively promote and support them. They've also been making a concerted effort to be more involved grandparents to Emily. As for Andrew and me, this whole experience has brought us closer together. We've learned the importance of standing up for each other and our choices, no matter what others think. Andrew has thrived in his role as a stay-at-home dad. He's even started a blog about his experiences, which has gained quite a following. He's found a community of other stay-at-home dads online, which has been great for him. I've had some challenges at work, with a few colleagues making snide comments about Andrew being a house husband. But seeing how happy and fulfilled Andrew is and how well Emily is doing makes it easy to brush off their ignorance. Plus, my boss has been incredibly supportive, even implementing more family-friendly policies at the hospital after hearing about our situation. Emily is flourishing with all the attention and care she gets from her dad. It's amazing to see their bond grow stronger every day. She's turning into a confident, curious little girl who's always excited to tell me about her day when I get home from work. Coming home to them after a long day at the hospital is the best part of my day. We've started having regular family game nights with Andrew's parents and Tom. It's still a bit tense at times, but it's getting better with each meeting. We're all learning to communicate more openly and honestly, which has been refreshing. Looking back, I don't regret standing up for Andrew at the engagement party. While the way it happened wasn't ideal, it set off a chain of events that ultimately led to positive changes in our family dynamics. We've all learned valuable lessons about honesty, respect, and the importance of supporting each other's choices. We're in a good place now, and I'm grateful for how things turned out. Of course, we still have our challenges. There are days when Andrew feels isolated or I feel overwhelmed with work. Tom's recovery is ongoing, and we're always a bit on edge, hoping he stays sober. But we're facing these challenges together, as a family, which makes all the difference. Thank you all for your support and advice throughout this journey. It's been a wild ride, but we've come out stronger on the other side. Here's to hoping the future brings more growth, understanding, and love for all of us.